Life will never hand you perfect conditions. Challenges will come, pain will visit, but in the middle of the storm, there is one weapon that never loses power: gratitude. When you look up to God and say, "Thank you, Lord," you unlock a dimension of favor, strength, and resilience that no storm can destroy. This isn't just about saying words, it's about positioning your heart for victory. You are not here by accident. If you're listening to this right now, it's because something inside of you knows there's more to your life than what you see. And I came to remind you, you are still blessed, even when life isn't easy. Gratitude is more than just saying thank you. It's a force that can lift you above the chaos of your circumstances. When life hits you hard, when the bills are stacking up, when relationships are strained, when your plans seem delayed, gratitude becomes the elevator that rises above the ground floor of frustration and despair. Every time you open your mouth and say, "Thank you, Lord," you are breaking an invisible ceiling that life tries to put over your head. You're telling your situation, "You will not define me. You may touch my environment, but you will not touch my spirit." Think about it. A plane takes off against the wind, not with it. Gratitude is like the wings that give you lift, even when everything in life feels like it's pushing against you. When you thank God despite the pain, you are not ignoring reality. You are declaring a higher reality. You're saying, "My gratitude is stronger than my grief. My praise is louder than my pressure." The greatest victories in life are often birthed in seasons when you could have complained, but chose instead to celebrate the small blessings still around you. That's what makes gratitude powerful. It changes what's happening inside you before it changes what's happening around you. Imagine you wake up late, rush to work, spill coffee on your shirt, and then hit traffic. Most people would spiral into frustration, but the one who practices gratitude takes a deep breath and says, "Thank you, Lord, I still have a job to go to. Thank you that I even have coffee to spill. Thank you for a car to sit in while in traffic." That's not weakness. That's strength. That's you refusing to give your power away to inconveniences. Over time, this mindset builds resilience like a spiritual muscle. You become unshakable, not because life became easier, but because you became stronger. Gratitude also shifts your focus from what's missing to what's present. We live in a culture that screams, "More, more," and it's easy to feel like you're always behind. But the moment you stop and count what you already have, your perspective changes. You begin to see that while you may not be where you want to be, you're also not where you used to be. That's progress. That's blessing. That's growth. And gratitude locks your eyes on that growth instead of your gaps. Think of an athlete training with weights strapped to their legs. The training is hard, it slows them down, but it's building strength they can't see yet. Life's difficulties work the same way. Gratitude is you acknowledging, "Yes, this weight is heavy, but it's making me stronger." Instead of cursing the weight, you start blessing the workout. And when the weight comes off, you find yourself running faster, jumping higher, thinking clearer than before. There's also a secret about gratitude most people miss. It magnifies the good. When you start giving thanks, the small things don't stay small. They grow in your awareness. That smile from a stranger, that unexpected text from a friend, that one bill you managed to pay. Gratitude is like a magnifying glass. Whatever you focus on, you see more of. Focus on problems, you see more problems. Focus on blessings, you see more blessings. This is why some people go through the same trials but come out bitter, while others come out better. The difference is not the size of the storm, but the size of the gratitude. Daily life gives you countless chances to practice this. When you're sitting at the dinner table, even if it's just rice and beans, you can say, "Thank you, Lord, there's food on this table." When your car starts, even if it's old and squeaky, you can say, "Thank you, Lord, it's still moving." When your child gives you a hug, even if the house is a mess, you can say, "Thank you, Lord, there's still love in this home." These small acknowledgments build a habit of seeing good even in imperfection, and that habit will guard your mind in the darkest seasons. Gratitude is also contagious. When people see you remain calm, hopeful, and thankful despite difficulty, they get curious. They start asking how you're doing it. Your gratitude becomes a light in someone else's darkness. It inspires your children, your spouse, your coworkers. You create an atmosphere where problems shrink and possibilities grow. People love being around grateful hearts because it lifts them too. Finally, gratitude elevates your identity. It reminds you that you are not a victim of life, you are a steward of it. Every time you say, "Thank you, Lord," in a tough moment, you are reclaiming authority over your emotions. You are stepping back into alignment with your true self, the self that is resourceful, courageous, and blessed beyond circumstance. The world may see you going through hardship, but gratitude keeps your inner world untouchable. This is why gratitude elevates you above your situation. It's a declaration of power. It's your soul saying, "I'm still here, I'm still standing, I'm still blessed." It's not a denial of pain, but a decision to rise higher than it. Every thank you is like another rung on a ladder, taking you out of the pit of worry and into the atmosphere of hope. Every struggle you face is carrying something inside it that you cannot see at first glance. Hard times are like wrapped packages. They often come disguised in pain, disappointment, or delay, but hidden inside is a blessing that will change the trajectory of your life. When you're in the middle of hardship, it's easy to say, "Why me?" or "When will this end?" But the moment you begin to recognize there's more happening than what meets the eye, something inside you shifts. You start to understand that every closed door is redirecting you, every rejection is refining you, and every delay is preparing you. This is the secret. Nothing is wasted, not even your pain. Think about the times in your life when you were forced to grow. Did it happen when everything was easy and smooth? Or did it happen when you were uncomfortable, stretched, and pressed? Most people find their calling, their courage, and their character not in moments of comfort, but in moments of challenge. Hard times are classrooms, and every problem is a teacher. When you embrace this mindset, you stop asking, "Why is this happening to me?" and start asking, "What is this trying to teach me?" That one shift turns frustration into fuel. Consider the seed planted deep in the ground. It's dark, it's lonely, and it looks like nothing is happening. But under the soil, roots are forming, the seed is breaking open, and life is preparing to burst forth. Hard times in your life are like that soil. They may look like endings, but they are often beginnings in disguise. The betrayal that broke you may be the very thing that pushes you to develop self-respect. The layoff that shook you may be the moment you discover your true talent. The breakup that hurt you may create the space for the right people to enter your life. A person who trains their eyes to see hidden blessings becomes unstoppable. Instead of collapsing under pressure, they rise. Instead of cursing the darkness, they start looking for the stars. This isn't positive thinking, it's powerful thinking. It's a deliberate choice to see beyond the surface. The people who seem to always bounce back from failure aren't lucky. They've learned to mine the gold inside the rock. Take an everyday example. Imagine your car breaks down on the way to an important appointment. Most people would explode in anger. But what if that delay saved you from an unseen accident down the road? Or what if that breakdown caused you to meet someone at the repair shop who later became a mentor, friend, or a business partner? Life has a strange way of hiding blessings and inconveniences. When you choose to say, "Thank you, Lord," even when you don't understand, you're keeping your heart open to see those blessings when they appear. Hidden blessings also show up in the form of personal transformation. A setback can teach you patience you never knew you needed. A loss can sharpen your empathy and compassion. A season of lack can make you wise about stewardship and resourcefulness. These are qualities that no classroom can teach, but life's challenges will. People who come out of adversity with a grateful heart often carry a depth of wisdom, strength, and humility that others can feel. Daily life gives you plenty of small chances to recognize this. Maybe you missed a flight only to later discover the meeting you were rushing to was canceled. Maybe you were forced to take a lower paying job, but it gave you flexibility to start a side business you're passionate about. Maybe you didn't get into the school or program you wanted, but that detour introduced you to opportunities you never imagined. Over and over, life is speaking. There's more here than you see. Another powerful example is the person who loses everything and discovers themselves. Someone goes through bankruptcy, divorce, illness, or public failure, and for a season, it looks like their life is over. But that very season strips away the false identity, the noise, and the distractions. It forces them to ask bigger questions about who they are, what matters, and where they're going. Months or years later, they emerge wiser, stronger, and more focused than ever before. That's not just survival, that's a hidden blessing doing its work. When you recognize the hidden blessings in hard times, you also reduce your fear of the future. You stop thinking of obstacles as punishments and start seeing them as platforms. You don't run from pain, you extract power from it. And that attitude changes everything. Suddenly, you're not the victim of life's twists and turns. You're a student, an observer, and eventually a leader. Think about a diamond. It's just carbon until it's put under extreme pressure and heat. Only then does it become the precious stone everyone desires. Your life is no different. Pressure produces clarity. Heat produces brilliance, and adversity produces authenticity. Every time you're under pressure, something valuable is being formed inside you. Recognizing this doesn't make the pain disappear, but it gives it purpose, and purpose makes pain bearable. Daily practice helps you train this perspective. The next time something doesn't go your way, pause. Ask yourself, where is the hidden blessing here? What is life trying to develop in me? Even if you can't see it immediately, believe it's there. By doing this over and over, you rewire your mind to expect growth from adversity. You stop being surprised by challenges and start being curious about them. This mindset makes you magnetic. People are drawn to someone who can stay steady in storms, who can speak hope in despair, and who can find beauty in ashes. It's not fake optimism, it's spiritual maturity. It's the ability to say, I may not understand this yet, but I know there's something in this for me. Others will look at you and wonder how you're still standing, how you're still hopeful. and they'll be inspired to handle their own challenges differently. Recognizing the hidden blessings in hard times is a discipline you practice every day. It's a way of training your spiritual eyesight to see beyond what's obvious. It's looking at loss and seeing opportunity, looking at rejection and seeing redirection, looking at pain and seeing preparation. Life's greatest breakthroughs often come wrapped in life's greatest challenges. When you live with this awareness, you stop being reactive and start being proactive. You move from despair to determination, from bitterness to brilliance, and from fear to faith. Gratitude is like a power line running straight from your heart to heaven, keeping you plugged into strength, peace, and wisdom, even when everything around you feels like it's collapsing. The moment you wake up in the morning and say, "Thank you, Lord," before you even check your phone, you're turning on a signal. That signal opens your mind to solutions you couldn't see when you were stressed. It's like cleaning the dust off a window. Suddenly the light can shine through again. Many people think gratitude is just manners, but it's more than that. It's an atmosphere you create around yourself. It's a frequency you choose to live on. When you stay on that frequency, you begin to sense ideas, opportunities, and insights that a complaining heart will never notice. Think about a radio station. If you're tuned to the wrong frequency, you only get static. Complaining, bitterness, and negativity tune you out of the signal of wisdom and peace. But gratitude is the dial that puts you back on the clear station. In that clear station, you receive creativity, courage, and energy that's been waiting for you. You don't get it because life became easy. You get it because your spirit became open. A thankful heart is an open heart. It's a magnet for miracles because it's constantly drawing in what it appreciates. Everyday life offers proof of this. Picture two people at the same job under the same boss, facing the same stress. One spends the day complaining, focusing on everything wrong. The other finds reasons to give thanks, a steady paycheck, the chance to learn, the skill being developed. Over time, the grateful person starts to shine. They get noticed. They find solutions. They attract favor. Why? Because gratitude keeps their internal channel clear. Their mind and heart aren't clogged with resentment, so new ideas flow in. The same principle applies to health, relationships, and money. Gratitude keeps the pipeline unclogged. Gratitude also protects you from burnout. When you pause to say thank you for small things, you give your nervous system a reset. It's like plugging your phone into a charger at 15% instead of waiting until it dies. When you're thankful for the little energy you have, more energy comes. When you're thankful for the small breakthrough, bigger breakthroughs arrive. Gratitude is not just a spiritual principle, it's a psychological one. Scientists even confirm that gratitude rewires your brain to release dopamine and serotonin, feel-good chemicals. That's why people who practice gratitude look more alive, act more hopeful, and recover faster from setbacks. Think of a garden hose. If it's twisted, the water can't flow. Complaining, bitterness, and comparison are the twists in the hose of your life. Gratitude untwists it. The flow resumes. And suddenly what you were praying for, working for, waiting for, begins to show up faster because there's no blockage. This is why some people can go through seasons of drought but still grow. They've kept their hose untwisted with gratitude. Another daily life example, imagine you're in a traffic jam. Your natural instinct is to grumble, to get tense. But the moment you breathe and say, "Thank you, Lord, I'm safe. I have a car. I have somewhere to go," your blood pressure lowers. Your patience stretches. You're less likely to make a reckless decision. That one small shift keeps you healthier, calmer, and more open to opportunity. Maybe because of that calm, you notice a new billboard advertising a course you need. Maybe you meet someone when you finally get to your destination because you arrived later than planned. Gratitude positions you to see what others miss. The power you stay connected to through gratitude is also the power of perspective. Problems shrink or expand depending on how you view them. A grateful mind doesn't ignore problems but sees them from higher ground. From above, the mountain looks smaller. When you thank God in advance, before the outcome is visible, you're standing on higher ground already. You're not begging for power. You're recognizing it's already flowing. Gratitude turns ordinary spaces into sacred spaces. Your kitchen table becomes a place of worship. Your commute becomes a classroom. Your workplace becomes a training ground. This shift makes you dangerous to discouragement because nothing can fully rob you of joy. You've learned to turn any environment into an opportunity to connect with strength. Gratitude also builds trust. Every thank you is a declaration of belief that even if you can't see the whole picture, there is good in it. That trust releases your grip on fear and control. It opens your hands so you can receive. When your hands are closed around anxiety, nothing new can enter. Gratitude prays your fingers open so blessings can land. Watch how children behave when they're thankful. They receive more. They get offered more. Not because they're perfect, but because gratitude makes giving joyful. The same happens spiritually. A grateful heart multiplies what it already has. When you thank God for wisdom, more wisdom comes. When you thank Him for strength, more strength arrives. It's not magic, it's alignment. This is why gratitude keeps you connected to power. It's the switch that turns on the light in a dark room. It's the bridge that keeps your heart steady while the storm rages under it. It's the fuel that powers your engine when life tries to drain your tank. Every "thank you, Lord" is like plugging yourself back into a limitless source. Every moment of gratitude is like adjusting your antenna until the signal of peace, clarity, and creativity comes in clear again. Daily, you have hundreds of chances to reconnect. The quiet moment before you step out of bed, the pause before you answer a tough phone call, the breath you take before walking into a meeting, the walk from your car to your front door. In each of these moments, gratitude is a small whisper that keeps the big power flowing. It's not a grand gesture, it's a constant practice. Over time, this practice creates a person who is unshakable, unstoppable, and undeniably connected to something greater than themselves. Gratitude is not only about looking back at what has happened, it is also about shaping what is yet to come. Every time you choose to give thanks, even when your circumstances don't look like much, you're planting seeds into the soil of your future. Those seeds might be invisible now, but they're growing roots under the surface. A thankful heart today sets the tone for the life you will walk into tomorrow. When you wake up in the morning and say, "Thank you, Lord, for this day, for the breath in my lungs, for the strength in my body, for the people who care about me," you are programming your future with expectation. You are giving yourself permission to attract better opportunities, better relationships, and better ideas because your attitude is prepared to receive them. Think of a farmer. He doesn't see the harvest yet, but he plants anyway. He tills the soil, waters the ground, and protects the seed long before he sees fruit. Gratitude works the same way. It is the act of sowing into the future. If you only give thanks once everything is perfect, you're already late. But when you thank God ahead of time, before you hold the promise in your hand, you accelerate the process. You're saying with your actions, "I believe my future is bigger than my current problem." That posture creates momentum. Daily life gives you powerful examples. Imagine two people starting a small business. One wakes up saying, "This will never work. Nothing ever goes my way." The other wakes up saying, "Thank you, Lord, for the ideas, the courage, and the chance to do this." Both may face setbacks, but one is planting seeds of defeat and the other seeds of growth. Over time, gratitude shapes the second person's thinking, habits, and energy. They notice possibilities faster, they recover from mistakes quicker, and they attract people who want to help them succeed. Gratitude has transformed their future before the future arrived. Gratitude also rewires your mind to expect abundance rather than scarcity. When you practice daily thankfulness, you start looking for opportunities where others see obstacles. You see doors where others see walls. You start believing you are capable of handling more responsibility, more blessing, and more influence because you've already trained yourself to appreciate what you have. This kind of mindset becomes a magnet for progress. People are drawn to someone who radiates gratitude because it signals trustworthiness, stability, and resilience. Think about a person who has been through heartbreak or loss but chooses gratitude instead of bitterness. They say, "I don't know why this happened, but I'm thankful I'm still alive. I'm thankful for the lessons I've learned. I'm thankful for the space this creates for something new." That person is already shaping a future of healing, opportunity, and deeper connections. They will emerge with more wisdom and compassion than before, which makes them stronger and more attractive in every area of life. Even in small moments, gratitude is rewriting your future story. When you thank God for your health while you're still recovering, you speed up your healing by giving your mind and body a boost of hope. When you thank God for provision while your bank account is low, you open yourself to creative ideas and new streams of income you wouldn't have seen in worry. When you thank God for peace while you're still in conflict, you prepare yourself to respond with clarity instead of panic, which can change the entire outcome of a situation. Gratitude also shifts your identity from a victim to a visionary. Victims are trapped in the past, replaying what went wrong. Visionaries are grateful in the present, anticipating what's coming next. They use gratitude as a steering wheel, turning their life toward what they want to experience more of. Every thank you is like an arrow shot into the future, marking where your blessings will land. This is why people who live in gratitude seem to always have good luck. It's not luck, it's deliberate alignment with possibility. A practical example can be as simple as a morning ritual. Before you scroll through social media, you sit for 2 minutes and list 5 things you're thankful for. Over weeks and months, this small action retrains your brain to look for the positive first. This mental programming influences how you react at work, how you talk to your partner, how you see opportunities. And because your reactions are more hopeful and confident, your relationships improve, your performance increases, and your reputation grows. This all starts with gratitude transforming your future quietly from the inside out. Gratitude also creates a cycle of increase. What you appreciates. What you thank God for tends to multiply because your awareness of it grows. If you're thankful for your skills, you'll find ways to develop them further. If you're thankful for your connections, you'll nurture them and watch them open new doors. If you're thankful for your health, you'll take better care of your body. Each area you're grateful for becomes a fertile field for expansion. Another illustration, imagine walking through a hallway of doors. Each door represents an opportunity. If you're filled with fear, complaint, and resentment, your eyes are on the floor and you miss the open doors. If you're filled with gratitude, your head is up, your eyes are alert, and you notice the doors swinging open. The opportunities were always there. Gratitude tuned your vision to see them. Gratitude also influences how others treat you. People feel safe with a grateful person. They sense you will value their time, their advice, their help. This causes mentors, investors, friends, and partners to lean toward you instead of away. Your future becomes richer not because you manipulated anyone, but because your spirit invited collaboration and generosity. All of this shows how gratitude is not passive, it's proactive. It is a discipline, a mindset, and a declaration that shapes tomorrow by how you think today. It's a powerful message to your future self. I'm preparing space for blessing. I'm making room for growth. I'm ready for more because I've honored what I already have. Every single day, you're either programming your future with fear or with gratitude. Gratitude is the key that rewrites the code of your destiny. There comes a point in every life where you must decide who you're going to be when the storm hits. Not after it's over, not when the sun comes back. Right in the middle of the rain, you have to choose whether you will sink under it or rise above it. And rising above it does not begin with more money, more applause, or more help from others. It begins with a heart that dares to say, "Thank you, Lord. I am still here. I am still breathing. I am still blessed." That single declaration becomes a roar that echoes across your entire future. It's the sound of your spirit refusing to be broken. This is the moment when gratitude becomes your revolution. This is when you shift from being a victim of circumstances to being a creator of destiny. You may have been knocked down, but you're still standing. You may have lost some things, but you've kept your faith. You may feel bruised, but you're not beaten. Remember this, the strongest steel is forged in the hottest fire. The brightest diamonds are formed under the greatest pressure. And the greatest you is being born right now in the middle of what you're surviving. You have the power to stand up in the midst of pain and say, "This is not where my story ends. This is where my strength begins." You can look at every scar on your soul and see it as proof that you're still fighting, proof that you've survived nights others couldn't handle, proof that you're becoming unshakable. A scar does not mean you're weak. It means the wound closed. It means healing happened. It means you're tougher than what tried to break you. Don't underestimate the power of your own gratitude. A grateful person can transform an entire atmosphere. A grateful leader can shift a whole team. A grateful parent can break generational patterns and set a new standard for their children. When you lift your eyes and say, "Thank you, Lord," you're telling fear it no longer lives here. You're telling doubt it has no seat at your table. And you're telling your future, "I'm ready for you." Every time you give thanks, you're building a wall of strength around your heart. Every time you say thank you, you're sharpening the sword of your mind. You're creating an energy that will pull you forward when everything else is trying to hold you back. This is why people who live with gratitude seem untouchable. Storms come, but they keep moving. Winds blow, but they keep walking. Doors close, but they keep knocking. Right now, decide to be that person. Decide that no matter what happens, you will rise above the noise. Decide that gratitude will be your strategy, not just your mood, because moods fade, but decisions shape destinies. The decision you make today to be grateful will echo in every opportunity, every conversation, every open door you step through tomorrow. Look at your hands. Everything you need to begin again is already there. Look at your breath. As long as you're breathing, you're still in the fight. Look at your heart. It's still beating, which means you've still got time to build, time to heal, time to become. The presence of breath is the presence of possibility. So stand up inside yourself. Square your shoulders. Lift your chin. Whisper it if you have to, shout it. If you can, "Thank you, Lord, I'm still blessed." Say it when it's hard. Say it when you're scared. Say it when nothing makes sense. Say it when everything looks impossible, because that declaration is not just words, it's a weapon. It breaks chains, it lifts weights, it opens doors. This is your moment to turn pain into power, wounds into wisdom, and pressure into purpose. This is your time to rise from the ashes, to put fire in your voice and steel in your spine. You are not defined by what you've lost. You're defined by what you're becoming. And you are becoming stronger, wiser, deeper, more compassionate, more unshakable, and more blessed than ever before. Never forget, gratitude is the birthplace of greatness. Faithfulness today creates fruitfulness tomorrow. The small thank you in private becomes the big breakthrough in public. When you live this way, you're not just surviving life, you're mastering it. You're walking into rooms differently, thinking differently, carrying yourself differently, because you know who you are and whose hand holds your future. So go ahead, even now, with all the weight on your shoulders, with all the questions in your mind, with all the dreams still waiting to be fulfilled, lift your hands, lift your heart, lift your words. Say it again with fire in your voice. Thank you, Lord, I am still blessed. And let that become the soundtrack of your life, the rhythm of your days, and the anthem of your future.